Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will discuss about the basics of microprocessor. First of all, we have to know about that what is microprocessor. Microprocessor is nothing but the CPU, means central processing unit, and it is an essential component of the computer. We all know about it. In a desktop, CPU plays an important role because it is the main processor. And here we are talking about microprocessor. This means that when processor size is micro, then it will be called microprocessor. Okay, next point is it is a silicon chip that comprises millions of transistors and other electronic components that process millions of instructions per second. Okay, then third point is this is a versatile chip which is combined with memory and special purpose chips and pre-programmed by a software. Means when a developer develop this chip or this processor, many programs or some mathematical calculations is built in this chip. Okay, here this point means what I am saying, that microprocessor is a versatile chip, means which is combined with memory as well as special purpose chips. In chips there are many chips in within one chip. Okay, and pre-programmed by a software. In fourth point, it accepts digital data as input and process it according to the instructions stored in the memory. Digital data means 0 and 1. And the last point is the microprocessor has many functions, like functions of data storage, interact with various other devices and other time related functions. But the main function is to send and receive the data to make the function of the computer well. Okay. Now, evolution of microprocessor. Microprocessor has become more essential part of many gadgets. So, evolution of microprocessors was divided into 5 generations. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. Here we can see that first of all 8080 in 1974. If we follow the 8080 then 8085, we can see that the count of transistors or the amount of transistors are increasing day by day. Okay, and data width may vary and the clock speed means that this frequency may also vary. In recent days we all know about the Pentium 3 and Pentium 4. So here we can see that the transistors count are much more than in 8080. So we can tell here that day by day millions of transistors are increasing in one chip. So they are working in many respects, many aspects. Now types of microprocessor, where 5 types are here. First of all, CISC. CISC means complex instruction set computer, or we can say microprocessor. RISC, reduced instruction set microprocessor. ASIC, application specific integrated circuit. IC. Nowadays we all searching in the internet that what is chip. In our mobile phone also we are using memory card. from where this memory card come. This is the integrated circuit. And in integrated circuit, the many millions of transistors are in this integrated circuit. Superscalar processors, and last of all the DSPs, means digital signal microprocessors. In first complex instruction set microprocessor, basically they classify a microprocessor in which orders can be performed together along with other low level activities. This type of processors performs the different tasks like downloading, uploading, recalling data into the memory and recalling data from the memory card. Then reduced instruction set microprocessor. These types of microprocessor are made according to the function in which the microprocessor can carry out small things in specific command. For this reason, it is called reduced instruction set microprocessor. And of course, this will be the faster rate. Okay, superscalar microprocessor. Superscalar means basically the hardware on the processor to perform various tasks at a time. These processors can be used for ALUs or multipliers. Okay, then the application specific integrated circuit, where we can see that these processors are used for particular purposes, that includes of automotive emissions control or personal digital assistance computer. That's all. Digital signal microprocessor. Digital signal processors are also called as DSPs. These processors are used to encode and decode the videos or to convert the digital to analog or analog to digital. Basically, these processors are used in communication in communication engineering, means in mobile phone we are talking with our friends. I am saying something and my friends hearing something. How this will happen? This is the communication, and for this digital signal microprocessor will be used. Now some advantages and disadvantages of microprocessor. First is the processing speed is high. Intelligence has been brought to systems. Intelligence, why? Various tasks is performed in one chip only. So it must be the intelligence. Flexible, compact size, easy maintenance, because this chip is very small, portable. For this reason it will be flexible, easy maintenance also. Complex mathematics, it can be done with these microprocessors. Some of the disadvantage of microprocessor are it might get overheated. Sometime it might get overheated, and the limitation of microprocessor imposes on size of data. Some of the applications of microprocessors: home appliances, wireless communication. In the previous slide I have already told about the DSP in these wireless communication equipments. Office publication and automation, consumer electronic goods, calculators, accounting system, video games, industrial controllers, data acquisition systems, etc. The availability of microprocessor with low power, low cost, small weight and computing capability make it useful in various applications. In present days, a microprocessor based systems are used in automatic testing product, traffic signal control system, instructions, speed control of motors, etc. Now, one of the microprocessor which in the syllabus we all have to go through these microprocessors, these 8085, 8086, and first of all we will discuss about the 8085. Okay, this is pronounced as 8085. It is an 8-bit microprocessor designed by Intel in 1977 using NMOS technology. First of all, it has 8-bit data bus, 16-bit address bus, which can address up to 64 KB. In microprocessor, always you have to remember about the address. In which address you are keeping some data. In which address. You have to remind it again and again, because the address part is very important in the microprocessor. 16-bit program counter, 16-bit stack pointer. If you have already studied in data structure, then you all have to know about the stack. Okay. Then 6 8-bit registers arranged in pairs BC, DE, HL. Requires 5 volt supply to operate 3.2 microhertz, 3.2 megahertz, single phase clock. Means this is a frequency in which the microprocessor will work. It is used, microprocessor means 8085 microprocessor. Okay. It is used in washing machine, microwave ovens, mobile phones, etc. Now these are the functional units of 8085 microprocessor. First of all, accumulator. This is a 8-bit register. To perform arithmetic logical operation. Arithmetic means addition, subtraction. Logical means AND, OR, NOT, GET. Okay, load, store, operation, input, output means IO. Then arithmetic and logic unit. Accumulator also work on arithmetic and logical part, but at the same time there is in 8085 arithmetic logic unit is established. Okay, as the name suggests, it performs arithmetic and logical operations like addition, subtraction, AND, OR, etc. on 8-bit data. General purpose registers, 6 general purpose registers are there. BC, B, C, D, E, H, L. Each register can hold 8-bit data, but if we want to work in pair to hold 16-bit data, then we have to pairing these combinations like BC, B with C only, D with E only, H with L only. We can't do B with D. It will not work. Okay. Then program counter. It is a 16-bit register used to store the memory address location of the next instruction to be executed. Microprocessor increments the program whenever an instruction is being executed. Program counter. From the name we can say this will count. So it will increment. That's why here I have written that microprocessor increments the program whenever an instruction is being executed, so that the program counter points to the memory address of the next instruction that is going to be executed. Stack pointer. 16-bit register works like stack, which is always incremented or decremented by 2 during push and pop operations. Temporary register. It is an 8-bit register which holds the temporary data of arithmetic and logical operations. Flag register. It is an 8-bit register having 5 1-bit flip-flops which holds either 0 or 1 depending upon the result stored in the accumulator. These are the set of 5 flip-flops: sign, 0, auxiliary carry, parity, carry, and these are the bit positions where we can see that 8-bit registers. So D0 to D7. 0 to 7 means 8-bit. Okay, first of all in D0 carry flag is there. After that in D2 parity flag, D4 auxiliary carry, D6 0 flag, and in D7 sign flag. Instruction register and decoder. It is an 8-bit register. When an instruction is fetched from memory, then it is stored in the instruction register. Instruction decoder decodes the information which present in the instruction register. Okay, decode encode means nowadays we all hear about cryptography or hacking. Means basically when suppose I know English, but where in many country English they don't understand. So one interpreter is there to interpret my English to their language. So this is decoding. And when they are saying, interpreter also interprets their language to my English. This is encoding. Okay. Timing and control unit. It provides timing and control signal to the microprocessor to perform operations. Following are the timing and control signals. First of all, control signals. Ready. RD means read. WR means write. ALE means address latch enable. Status signals. S0, S1, IO/ember means input output or memory. DMA signals, direct memory access. Hold, HLDA माने hold acknowledge. Reset signals, reset in, reset out. Interrupt control. As the name suggests, it controls the interrupt during a process. When a microprocessor is executing a main program and whenever an interrupt occurs, the microprocessor shifts the control from the main program to process the incoming request. After the request is completed, the control goes back to the main program. And these are the interrupts. 5 interrupt signal: INTR, RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5 and trap. Now serial input or output control. It controls the serial data communication by using these two instructions: SID, SOD. Address buffer and address data buffer. The content stored in the stack pointer and program counter is loaded into the address buffer and address data buffer to communicate with the CPU. The memory and IO chips are connected to these buses. The CPU can exchange the desired data with the memory and IO chips. Address bus and data bus. In the first slide of 8085, I have told already 8-bit data bus, 16-bit address bus. So data bus carries the data to be stored. It is bidirectional, whereas address bus carries the location to where it should be stored. So it is unidirectional. It is used to transfer the data and address IO devices. This is the architecture of 8085. Till now, we have said about the functional units, and all the functional units here we can find, like first of all interrupt control, which we have told already, serial IO control. Okay, then we can see one 8-bit internal data bus from where flag register, temporary register, accumulator and ALU is connected. After that, instruction register, which is also 8-bit, and from instruction register, instruction decoder. Why? Because first of all, instruction have to be stored in the register, then it will be decoded. After that, it will come in timing and control signals, status signals, DMA signals, reset signals, control signals, etc. And on the right side, we can see that the registers portions B, C, D, E, H, L, 8-bit registers. Stack pointer 16-bit, program counter 16-bit, increment or decrement address latch. From where we can see the address buffer and data address buffer is connected, AD0 to AD7. Okay, here as we have already seen that the address bus is 16-bit and data bus is 8-bit. So here we can see in the pin diagram that in the right side A15 to A8, but in the left side AD0 to AD7. Why? Because in the lower order address bus is combined with the data bus, is multiplexed. For this reason, here we can see this is the multiplexer. This multiplexed for this reason. This AD0 to AD7 we can see from D0 D7 and A0 A7, means lower order address bus is combined or multiplexed with the data bus. In the higher order address bus, they are standing single. Okay, and 1 to 40, total 40 pins are there. We can see this and we can correlate with the functional units which we have already told in this previous slide. These are the interrupts, serial, output data, input data, VCC, ground. Okay, now this will be explained in my several slides, next several slides. Address bus A15 to A8, A8 to A15 means it carries the most significant 8 bits of memory IO address. Means most significant means higher order and least significant means lower order. AD7 to AD0, it carries the least significant 8-bit address and data bus. So data bus is 8-bit, address bus is 16-bit. 8-bit address bus is standing single and 8-bit address bus is standing with the data bus. Control and status signals, where we can see 3 control signals and 3 status signals. First of all, control signals: read, write, address latch enable. From read or write, from the name we guesses something that this signal indicates that selected IO or memory device is to be read or ready for accepting data available on the data bus. And from write we can see that the signal indicates that the data on the data bus is to be written into a selected memory or IO location. ALE, address latch enable. It is a positive going pulse generated when a new operation is started by the microprocessor. When the pulse going high, it indicates address. When the pulse goes down, it indicates data. Because the name is address latch enable, so when it is high, it indicates address. When it is low, it indicates data. Now these are the status signals, 3 status signals: IO/M bar, S0, S1. This signal IO/M bar, this signal is used to differentiate between IO and memory operations. That is, when it is high, indicates IO operation. When it is low, it indicates memory operation. S1 and S0, these signals are used to identify the type of current operation. Power supply, 2 power supply signals, one is VCC and one is VSS. VCC indicates 5 volt power supply and VSS ground signal. Clock signals X1, X2 clock out. X1, X2 a crystal. RC means RC connector, LC connector. Two types of connector are there. RC means return if carry. Means if carry is generated, then it will return. And from LC basically is developed by Lucent technology. So this name is Lucent connector. It has many names like local connector. Okay, is connected at these two pins, is used to set frequency of the internal clock generator. This frequency is internally divided by 2, means crystal is connected at these two pins and is used to set frequency. Basically frequency, to set the frequency, these signals are used. Clock out, thus this signal is used as a system clock for devices connected with the microprocessor. System clock. Serial I/O signals. There are two serial signals, SID, SOD, which we have told earlier also. SOD means serial output data line. The output SOD is set or reset as specified by the SIM instruction. SID, serial input data line. The data on this line is loaded into accumulator when a RIM instruction is executed. Now these are the addressing modes of 8085. First of all, these are the instructions used to transfer the data from one register to another register, from the memory to the register, and from the register to the memory without any alteration in the content. Means these types of combinations can be happened. 5 groups: immediate addressing mode, register addressing mode, direct addressing mode, indirect addressing mode, implied addressing mode. First of all, immediate. Immediate means 8 or 16-bit data is specified in the instruction itself as one of its operand. For example, MVI A, 20F. 20F is the data. MVI A is the register. A means accumulator, means 20F is copied into register A. After that, register addressing mode, the data is copied from one register to another. It is easy. For example, move A, B means data in register B is copied to register A. Always the destination register will be written first, then source register. Direct addressing mode. The data is directly copied from the given address to the register. Address to register. For example, LDA 5000H means this 5000H is the address. This is not the data. Means the data at the address 5000H is copied to register A. LDA means load data accumulator. A means accumulator in 8085. Indirect addressing mode. The data is transferred from one register to another by using the address pointed by the register. For example, move A, B means data is transferred from the memory address pointed by the register to the register A. Implied addressing mode. This mode does not require any operand. The data is specified by the opcode itself. For example, CMP. Now, some interrupts in 8085. First of all, interrupts are the signals generated by the external devices to request the microprocessor to perform a task. There are 5 interrupt signals: trap, RST 7.5, RST 6.5, RST 5.5 and INTR. First of all, interrupts are classified into following groups based on their parameter: vector, non-vector, maskable, non-maskable, software, hardware. Okay. First of all, vector interrupt. In this interrupt address is known to the processor. Example, for example, RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5 trap. All these are vectored interrupt. Non-vector interrupt, in this type of interrupt, the interrupt address is not known to the processor, just opposite. So the interrupt address needs to be sent externally by the device to perform interrupts. For example, INTR. Maskable interrupt. In this type of interrupt, we can disable the interrupt by writing some instructions into the program. For example, RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5. These are the maskable interrupt. Means we can disable these interrupt by writing some instructions into the program. Okay. Non-maskable means we can't disable the interrupt by writing some instruction. Example, trap. This means trap is the vectored interrupt but non-maskable interrupt. Now, software interrupt and hardware interrupt. In software interrupt, the programmer has to add the instructions into the program to execute the interrupt. 8 software interrupt: RST 0, RST 1, RST 2, RST 3, RST 4, RST 5, RST 6, RST 7. 0 to 7, total 8. Hardware interrupt means 5 interrupt pins in 8085 used as hardware interrupt. Hardware means hardware, basically from hardware it is interrupted. Trap, RST 7.5, 6.5, 5.5, INTA. Thank you for listening this lecture. Please subscribe our channel.